We're live. Oh shit!
Whoa.
What's been
What's
going on,
going
man?
on? Oh man, it's good. It's been a little bit, man, since last year.
Yeah.
Last year, man, it's been a crazy run. Beginning of the year, I hit the ground running. Always like to get a head start on the competition, or as I call future unemployed people. So it's it's been really fun, man. What you been up to in the new year?
Well, I mean, we're selling No Morbidity at Ambrosia right now, and we're gonna Tiger Fitness here soon too.
Yeah, it should be
So,
in this week, and Vitamin Shop has it too. If you want
yeah,
to
I've
go
been
show
telling
them
people.
some love.
Yeah, I've been telling people to get it from Vitamin Shop. And by the way, the honey lemon nectar that's sold at Vitamin Shop, like it's only sold via Vitamin Shop.
And
One of the cool,
ambrosia. Mhm.
one of the cool things about that, dude, is it. I love it as a warm tea. Like, I mean, it's
Oh
one of the only
yeah.
ones that comes out as a warm tea. It's really, really good. But that coaching, the whole fucking nine. I'm starting my heavy training for the fucking year, and I was just live. I mean, I literally just ended a live with most of these folks a little bit ago, talking about how NBC like employers now need to be more inclusive of fat people. Like, you need to consider them like disabled people, but they're not sick.
You know what? This is kind of like, and I don't want to sound out of touch, but when they were actually equating being gay to being black in oppression.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, number one, you can't. I understand you're born gay. I don't think you just all of a sudden go, because I use this all the time. If you put me in this like locker room with like hot like 23-year-old female volleyball players, and they're all naked standing around, I'm like, okay, I can't control what can happen below the waist,
Yeah.
right? If you put me in a room with a bunch of 20-something-year-old male volleyball players, nothing's happening. I've seen more naked dudes. If I knew, if I had any inclination of being gay, I know it right now. I don't even think I could perform if given the chance to be gay, even with a hot dude. So, but at the same time, you can't equate the struggle of being black and the slavery and the systemic racism to being gay, where I actually think you have, at this point in time, we've overcompensated for whatever ills they have. If you say anything against the Rainbow Coalition, you're done. But here's the thing. Being gay, I don't think is a choice. Mm-hmm. You could choose to hate your life and have sex with women if you want to have sex with men. I don't care if you Christians disagree with me. I think if you're gay, you just like having sex with the same sex.
Yep.
If you're black, you're black. Unless you do what Michael Jackson did, you're going to stay black. If you're fat, you can change it. You know what I mean? Like, it's not, and it's also like being black is not inherently going to kill you. Unless you point to, genetic diseases like sickle cell, etc. Being gay isn't inherently going to kill you. Being fat will kill you. And it is 100%, 99.99% of the time, your choice, your fault. Sorry, you do not get any extra medical treatment. You don't get affirmative action. You're fat, lose weight. You're not special. In fact, we should be encouraging you to lose weight. We should not vilify people like you and I who are encouraging folks to lose weight.
That's the thing. For the last like 5 or 6 years, I've seen, and I mean, you saw it, especially like at the very beginning of the pandemic, man, they were like fucking hot and heavy after me. And they've been trying to cancel me for years about just saying like, hey, get healthy. What I find so amazing is that there are so many things right now that can help people. Like, we understand so much more, but I will say that the same people that come up with what you should eat, like our government and stuff like that, telling you like to eat 11 servings of grains and everything like that, it does not appear that they want people to be healthy because there's more money in the cure,
Mm-hmm.
But I find it that like me and you, I think, since we're in the fitness realm and everything like that, I think we notice it much more. Now, Tim Pool has noticed it before, where he's had multiple times like that they want you sick and they don't want you healthy. But I've watched a few of his recently where he starts talking about like he didn't realize how much like how many deaths there were of it. I saw them literally pull up. A statistic one time of like 300,000 people a year die of obesity. And like, that's a small number technically, but it's been killing more people than even this massive, the terror of a cold that's been reshaping our society for a long time. And I sent you this morning, and I thought it would be neat for us to go over it. You've been on Tim Pool's show.
He's a great guy. Yeah.
he is all of a sudden starting to talk about the very same points that we're talking about. So I thought we would go through this, and you let me know anytime you want me to stop, and so you can add commentary on it. But this is Tim Pool talking about this recent ad where this enormous woman, she looks like a dual genie that came together coming out of her shoes. Like her shoes are genie lamp.
Oh, God.
Genie lamps, and she's like spouting out of it, and then it comes together as one genie. I mean, so now that I've said that, you're not going to be able to unsee that when I show it to you.
Oh my God. It's like, and by the way, guys, questions, we'll get to them after we're done. So please stick around. You got to stick around for the whole, yeah. It's like, I can't even put words because she has no legs, meaning that her legs are just one solid blob of fat. There's no knee. I think I listened to his video this morning before you texted me. And the thing is, she has no knees. Yeah. She has no appendages, just one solid layer of fat. And she evidently, she can't clean or see her own vagina.
Oh, I'm sure. I mean, it's a very serious reality is that people that are this size, she can't reach it. Look here. Their arm length, it's a real thing. Cleanliness is a real issue. It's one of the reasons why I suggest very, very, very big people swim.
Yes.
It's one of the reasons why. But this is horrible. First of all, I would argue that this is very cruel to even put this woman in these shoes.
Those are like those things that they used to wear, those shoes in the day that would crimp their feet.
They would bind their feet.
Yeah, it's like feet binding. I don't even know how the hell she got in those. And I mean, look at that's not just fat, guys. That's edema. She's a walking cardiac event. She is a walking cardiac event.
I bet you could press your finger right in here and it would leave a dent about 3/4 of an inch deep.
Yeah, I mean, she's so fat. This isn't a mama joke. She's so fat that you literally would have to not only put her on fat loss, you'd have to put on diuretics because I'm sure there's some kind of hypertension, blood pressure causing that. That's more than just fat right there, guys. That's hypertension. That's edema. That's not good. That is the worst thing. And for them to put this thinking that, what company was this? Do you know what company this was? It's
called Parade. This is an underwear line. It's a size inclusive underwear line. Called Parade.
Hey, the girl on the right, the girl on the other side, she's nice.
Right, absolutely. And I think this is a guy. But
I mean, I wasn't. Even if it's a hot guy who looks like a girl, I'm not hating. I don't discriminate, bro.
Now, if you look,
it's transphobic of you. Yeah. So are you saying that? So for that, I got a question off topic. If it's a trans model, women's underwear don't like men's underwear have like mine have this little like poof part for your junk. Yeah. So if you're a trans woman buying female underwear, if there's any transgender people in the comments, please let us know. Are there what underwear do girls with penises wear?
You mean?
Because if I put on my wife's panties, let's assume we have the same size buttocks and everything, I'd imagine that there wouldn't be that nice little cup. I wear these swim trunks called sacks where they actually have this thing to put your balls and unit in. So women's underwear are meant to not have penises. So what underwear do transgender people wear? I want somebody to answer that for me.
That's a good question. I mean, I think Blair White did a whole thing about tucking and stuff like that. They got to tuck it up under or something like that. I don't know.
Oh my God, wouldn't that be uncomfortable?
I would fucking imagine. I would absolutely fucking imagine. And if it's not, I would imagine.
What if you're really gifted? Do you tuck it and wrap it? Wrap it around your waist? What do you do with it?
Wrap it around your waist. What the fuck?
That's not me. Yeah. Mine would tuck easily if I even knew. I need to watch a tutorial.
You need to watch a tutorial. Hilarious. So, and just to point out, if people can't see, if you look very close, by the way, over here, if you would look at it, you can see where they airbrushed. You can see veins. It's vascular, especially right in here.
Oh yeah, there.
This person's in very serious physical jeopardy.
And that is airbrushed to hell because there's not one dimple on her leg.
Right. It's just like a smooth, because I can't even believe this. I'm saying this, but the shin fat,
Shin fat.
the shin fat doesn't
No.
even have a dump of shin fat. I can't even believe I have to say it. Like if you have to get pronounced like that's like people that have forehead fat. Like if your body has run out of place to store extra fucking calories to the point where it puts fat on your forehead, you've made some bad life choices. You might want to reevaluate. You know.
So I would like to just looking at what Tim said. It's basically what we've been saying. And as someone who's Tim and I talked for probably 30 minutes about obesity, and he's lost a good amount of weight since 2020 as well. So he's slimmed down. For him, it was about controlling carbohydrate. And there's a simple reason for that. If you don't eat carbohydrate, you're cutting out the good tasting foods. Right. So, I mean, most people get fat from chips, from bread, from all this pasta and all this stuff. So if you cut out carbs, there's only so much chicken and steak a person can eat. So by him simply controlling his carbs, and also one thing I noticed, so I was at a showcase in Orlando for my daughter's soccer team. And I was just watching people around me cognizantly, because I usually just and I'm watching how many people who are these are smart people. These aren't dumb people. These are people who live in Brentwood. They make good money. They drink regular soda like it's water. And it's like 240 calories a can. So by simply, if Tim's drinking 2 or 3 sodas a day, that's an extra pound a week of weight gain.
Yeah, we have many people that come to us in our coaching, because we coach people that are very large. We have a lot of people that come to us that 2 liters, 3 liters of soda a day.
Wow.
I mean, it's an insane number of people. And by the way, just so everybody knows, in the comments section, I did just put a link to get No Morbidity, Ember, Mental Jewels, which is how I literally weaponize my ADHD,
yes,
and Nectar and Nutrient Driver. For those of you that are trying to reduce down your calories, your carbohydrates, Nutrient Driver has berberine in it. It's an excellent carb control craving thing. A lot of times, Mark produced it to be basically a performance supplement where it actually drives the nutrients into your cells.
Yep.
But it is a fabulous supplement to help control carb cravings, especially sugar cravings. A huge number of my clients are on it until we come up with product 2, which is also going to be like a glucodisposal agent. But it is fabulous. So check those things out at either Tiger Fitness or Vitamin Shop or any places that sell those things. But Nutrient Driver is a fabulous tool. I couple that. I take it 3 times a day. It's amazing.
Yeah. It's a huge tool. And when I first, the initial slogan for it was "Make Carbs Great Again," because it was when Trump, I think it was like, I made it like right when Trump was doing his thing in 2016, 2017. So I was like, this sounds good. It'll get people's attention. And at that time, if you said "make anything great again," you'd piss off the left. Which wasn't my intention, but I figured out. I'm like, at that time, I wasn't very political. I didn't get political until 2020 when Cernovich told me, dude, you should like get on Twitter and be political. And I kind of hate him, kind of love him for telling me to do that. And so for me, it was about, but I always put in the marketing. I was like, hey, the side effect is it has these health benefits. Because the bodybuilding industry, which used to be where now obviously our brands have evolved outside of that as they've grown, but bodybuilders don't give a shit about their health. So I'm like, I do, but my target market didn't. So it was like, hey, this will make you really jacked and swole and lean, but at the end, but also you might not die. They're like, oh, I don't care about that dying stuff. Can I get jacked? So it's you got to kind of deliver it to your market. But looking at where Tim's kind of evolved. Yeah. And I think he's noticed a lot of things, like, and also like us, like, Alan and I are both, more libertarian minded. Mm-hmm. I'd consider myself a 90s Democrat if you're going to really, really shake it out. But as society evolves, Tim is a guy who used to be basically, Occupy Wall Street, anti-establishment. Yep. And now he's basically considered a far right talk show host. Far right. The guy is pro-social medicine. He's not far right, but the left has gone so far off the cliff, which is weird because the fat acceptance thing is just as absurd as the drag queen storytelling time, whatever it's called. Yeah. Because check it out. Like, I don't know why they do this, but it's like they just want to destroy values in America. So now even though I'm going to an event on Friday at 2 p.m. at Iron Addicts Gym, if you're in the area, Signal Hill, California, and I'll be one of the 5 white guys there. There'll be over 350, 400 people at Iron Addicts. And yet now they're saying that being in shape and exercising is white supremacy.
Whole lot of white supremacy going on there at with CT Fletcher and Mike Rashid and fucking
so white supremacist.
Sean Torbati, like fucking.
Yeah, it's absurd. So now they're like, and it started out the drag queen thing was like, it was originally like they were just chilling reading books. Mm-hmm. Like, and I'm like, I didn't even see a problem. I'm like, what's the problem with a dude dressed as a chick reading books? But Tim actually called this. He's like, actually, they're setting us up for the next phase. And he was right. Now they have performing simulated sex acts on stage, literally showing kids penises. Yep. So what I'm seeing here is the fat phobic thing is just another way to take a dive at traditional healthy values. So they say the opposite of what is true. Children should not be groomed into whatever they're doing. They should not be sexualized. I think we should all agree on that. However, the left is going with the complete opposite. Like, no, children need to be sexualized.
Yep. It's
insane. And they're doing this with the fat thing. We're like, hey, we know that being fat kills you. It will be one of the causes of your death. And yet they're like, no. If you say fat people die, that makes you a bigot and a racist, which makes no sense. And now they're trying to make fat people a protected group.
Yeah. I mean, it's insane. I warned people about this. Like when Tess Holliday in 2018 was on the cover of Cosmopolitan, I was like, why are we entertaining this clown shit? Because like she's fat. Like, I mean, I'm sorry, but like people can find that attractive, but for Cosmopolitan was a magazine that young women looked to for advice and on shit like that. Mm-hmm. Like, so you get into the mind of people, and this is the end result. This is now considered a model. This woman calls herself a model. Like,
she's not going to live very long. That's the thing. It's like, I'd hate to say it, but like everybody's kind of, the liberals are dunking on Diamond from Diamond and Silk dying. And everybody's like going towards, anti-vax. I'm like, well, honestly, what we should take from this is she wasn't lean. No. Like she had comorbidities. So God rest her soul, but that needs to be a wake-up call for conservatives. Hey, one of our people, and I say R as I'm talking as a conservative, I'm actually a libertarian now, 100% on board. I'm no longer affiliated with, I never was affiliated with any Republican, but now I'm all in on the Mises Caucus for libertarians. So it's like, we need to look at this and say, hey, we just lost a really, really cool person because she wouldn't put the fork down. Mm-hmm. And that needs to wake us all up to exercise, to eat healthy, and to hydrate, and all that good stuff. You can't be, if in my YouTube comment section, because I posted that post about you can't be fat and healthy at the same time.
Right.
And at the end of the day, this woman wrote this long paragraph. I should delete it, just mess with her, but I won't. It's just like, hey, you spent all that time. Hopefully you copied it. So this long paragraph about how fat people can be healthy, and I'm wrong. And it's untrue. You could be healthier than other fat people. You'd be healthier than a small percentage of lean people. At the end of the day, when you're fat, you are unhealthy, period. Yep. You are the definition of unhealthy.
Yep. It's for no other. I say it every day. For no other reason than gravity exists. Like it, man. I mean, you've been bigger. I've been bigger. Yep. Like, I mean, Mark has fat pictures of himself too. Like, you don't feel good. It hurts your joints.
No.
Like it really does. It just hurts your joints. So before we get too involved, we're almost 20 minutes in. We'll let Tim talk. I have this playing at 1.25 speed, so Mark and I don't get bored as fuck listening to him talk.
You just called Tim boring. Tim's not boring.
He just talks a little slower than us. So
yeah, everybody talks slower than us, though.
Yes, I know. So that's
like Eminem called me. He's like, "Will you guys slow it down? I don't understand your rhymes."
Seriously. Here we go.
It's just wrong. It's mean. It's cruel what they're doing to people. We got this tweet from Natalie F. Danelishan. Natalie, did I pronounce your name wrong? Hopefully I didn't. Healthy at any size is a complete and total lie. Even her shoes are begging her to stop. Where are her knees? Stop celebrating this for F's sake. And this is it. This is Parade, the Gen Z lifestyle brand, I guess they call it. And take a look at this individual on the right. Now, look, the person in the middle looks, fit. The person on the left looks fit. And the person on the right is, and I am not trying to be mean. I'm never trying to be mean.
How often do you have to say that? What he just said? I'm not trying to be mean. Like I have to say that at least fucking 3 times a day. Well,
I mean, but the thing is, the truth hurts.
Yeah.
Like you need to have, even in participating in athletics, like you need to be able to tell your kids or tell whoever you're advising, like I coach people in bodybuilding. I coach people get on stage, and I'm not going to tell somebody, well, you look all right. I'm like, no, you're too fat to compete, bro. Don't embarrass yourself. Don't embarrass me. Let's diet some more. You're ready to go. At the end of the day, dude, lying to people about something that can either make them look stupid or kill them, like obesity, kill them. I mean, it is our responsibility as decent human beings to tell the truth. And I don't care if you hate me. I'll be able to look myself in the mirror and sleep well at night if I know that I did all I could to help my fellow human being live longer.
Yeah, absolutely.
Diseased, unwell, in need of serious help, but they don't care. They don't.
Oh,
They prop this up. They encourage it. This is, I mean, look, these shoes don't fit.
I'm telling you, does that not look like two genie lamps? And then the genie is pouring out, and then like that looks like an ass. Like, I mean, like that's how bad it is.
How
like,
did they get those fucking shoes on?
Are they CGI'd on? Like, that's fucking crazy.
I mean, I know what my daughter's Converse look like when she lifts, and they look nothing like that. Like those are high tops, but the fat is covering the high top.
I mean,
wow.
Then look at how she has to stand. To have her legs that close together, it's causing her feet to pronate out.
So are you noticing I can't see the knee much, but like her knees, there's tremendous valgus going on, which is the key of the knees. And also her feet are bowed out because her body can't support her weight. Yep. If she's not already wheelchair ridden for most of her days, she's very close within weeks of being wheelchair ridden. And that just starts it being even worse. Because once you're in a wheelchair, you're just moving around on your rascal, dude. You're not going to lose weight because you're not burning calories. You're sitting all day. And then you're going to get bed sores from sitting all day. And then you're going to get, oh my God, can you imagine how that smells on a hot summer day?
No. But thank you for making me think about it, you fucker.
The olfactory, just get a whiff.
Jesus.
I got to make light of this because it's gotten so absurd. Like I said,
they
went from, you never thought, I always thought liberals were like the healthy people who go to Whole Foods and shit. Like I always thought that was them, but it's crazy because like, I bet you since the 90s, people who shop at places like Sprouts and Whole Foods went from being 99% Democrat to mostly Republican, or people buying healthy foods. It's weird because I used to think that the liberals were the ones who were like more conscious about their health. Like I remember I used to go to like San Francisco when I lived in California, and they'd have the best healthy restaurants, like these trendy, healthy, like Mediterranean or vegan, but it was all health-based. Now it just seems like the left has been like, no, healthy is racist.
Man, I mean, a couple years ago, I used to get called like a tree hugger, like a liberal tree hugger, because people can, like, I get called alt-right Alan Roberts and shit like that. I am very fucking centered, if not left of center, like very. But the problem is like center, like the left moves so far left. But I used to get called a tree hugger for going to farmers markets. My wife and I love going to farmers markets.
Yes,
you pick up like fresh food from a farmer. You're helping them out. It avoids the middleman, and it's like good for you, right? I go camping, all sorts of shit, all that stuff. I love that shit, right? Apparently now that's alt-right. That's far right. Like how the fuck is growing your own food now an alt-right thing? It's insane.
That used to be a left thing because they used to have these what are they, communes and shit where the hippies would live. Yep. And it was like a cultish commune, but they all kind of pitched in. It was socialism. Socialism did it because they grew the food, they shared it, they worked together. It was a socialist thing. And now it's different because now the conservatives want to build these, like, look at schooling now, the pods and the co-ops. And the co-ops are basically what liberals used to do. You get with your community, and I have friends who go to them. Our neighborhood is full of them because we have a bunch of, rich fucking conservatives in this area. Yep. They're like, dude, fuck public schools, even though our public schools are amazing out here. We're not going to deal with what happened in 2020. Don't want to risk it. We're going to have our kids. They'll go to this. There's this one, I forgot what it's called. I think it's Iron something. And what happened is they have 2 days a week that they meet, and then they're homeschooled the rest. And a lot of people are moving to this. If it wasn't for my kids being athletes, And playing, like, even then, if I could do it all over again, I told my wife this, if I could do it all over again, I would have done the homeschool part-time. I would have done the pod thing where they meet two times a week, and then just played club sports.
Yeah.
And then maybe as Preston, since he plays a non-club sport in football in high school, we ship him off and he goes to high school, or we figure out a way to do part online. But this is ridiculous. I can't understand where the party that I don't know, they always say the party switched, like Democrats party of the KKK. No, they switched. I'm like, no, they didn't. But this case, the parties did switch, where the conservatives have become the health party.
Yep.
I mean, I think about when I envisioned a Republican, I pictured a fat old white guy with a fucking cigar.
Yep. Exactly. That's what I used to picture too. But now it's like the matter of ill health, like, God, like, look at TikTok. Like, I mean, it's just so bad.
TikTok's a psyop, bro. I'm convinced.
Oh, absolutely. I am too. Totally. 100%.
It's
100%.
but I'm not going to lie. It's a great marketing tool. Like, we advertise on there with Ambrosia and Tiger. It's our number one traffic driver right now.
And not only that, dude, I get all my content from there almost.
Oh yeah. I mean, look, man, if they banned it, I'd be happy. But if it's there, as business people, we're idiots not to use it. And not like we're out there doing stuff that's poisonous. We're giving them good content.
Yeah,
we're giving them helpful content.
I give life-saving advice daily. Like, I mean, literally daily. Like, for every, the cool thing is I get tons of hate mail, but I get like dozens of emails or messages a day, every single day, talking about how I've saved their life, or I've done this, or I've done that for them.
Well, you have. I get so many good messages like, hey, I'm taking a note from something I just said. I'll forget about it. I do that. I'm not checking email, but I'll forget it. And then I'll be like, Katie, what'd you hear me say when I was in that room? But most of the messages I get, I just got one this morning. Like, yeah, man, you saved me. I had type 2 diabetes and now it's gone. I'm like, hell yeah. And then I had one threatening to kill me. But nonetheless, I think it's still a positive day.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So we're going to get to Tim here real quick, because me and you need to do this absolutely more often, because we can just talk for fucking ever. But here we go. Every week,
and I'll be better. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry, Tim. I interrupted him again. He interrupted me like a motherfucker on his show, though.
I noticed that, dude. I did notice.
That's what he's like us, dude. There's no way that motherfucker doesn't have some deficit disorder.
Yeah, I agree.
Parade launches Replay underwear in sizes up to 5XL.
Replay. I hope there's not a replay. Like, that needs to get washed in between plays. Like,
hold on. This is a good time. There's 3 of them. What is it? Fuck, marry, kill. That game, it'd be fun to play. I don't want to, but I'm just saying it'd be a great picture to do it with.
We're not playing that game. I already got enough mental damage. So
I got some pictures for you. You're probably gonna be mad at me, I guess, but let me show you some of these photographs. So these are the models they have for their new.
I feel like the thing is, I've watched. She's a big on TikTok. I've seen her content. I've even made videos about that.
No pun intended.
Yeah. She's big on TikTok all around. But I mean, nobody should tell you maybe you should get healthy. That's like, I'm sorry, but you're just going to hate me, because I would not be able to look myself in the mirror without telling this woman, like, hey, what the fuck? Like, maybe, can I help you? Like, because this person needs help. Like, this attitude is fake as fuck. Like, the attitude in her face right now, that is fake as fuck. This woman is in pain. Pain. Like, look at this. This is a stretch mark coming from her upper chest in. That means her gunt has pulled, her front ass has pulled. Gunt.
I've never heard that before. Wow.
There's multiple things for it. Gunt, front ass, whatever. But it's the stretch marks are pulling this way, which means there's so much weight it's pulling down on her to the point where it's giving stretch marks. Like, I don't know, but like you really don't have that many stretch marks for you being as big as you are.
I have very few.
Yeah, but
and I got fat.
Yeah, that's tragic.
So bad.
Program, and well, there you go. There's the morbidly obese model who needs an intervention and needs help is being propped up. Ladies and gentlemen, it is no secret that I was a portly fella. A year ago, I weighed like 200 pounds. Just about now, I'm at about 170. and sometimes a little less, sometimes a little more. Water weight.
I would like to point out that he did the right thing. He considered himself portly at 200 pounds. The average male in America right now is 5'9", so around my height, and weighs 199.8 pounds. And that's of 2018 numbers.
That's average?
That's the average. And that's on the CDC website from 2018. And their waist circumference is 0.599 of their height. So they are viscerally fat too. So they're 200 pounds and they're not musculature. It's not muscle. It's fucking waste. It's Homer Simpson. The average American male is Homer Simpson. I give Tim all the credit in the world. Here's one of the reasons why me and Mark wanted to talk about this, by the way. This is a super positive thing that Tim is doing this. This is not a like, hey, we want to add on to Tim's content. We want to bring a highlight to this. Like, Tim has a large platform. I give him all the credit in the world for starting to talk about things of this nature, because in reality, like these conversations need to be had. Like they need many people with broad reaching audiences to talk about this and to present it how he just did, that he was portly at 200 pounds. He was not healthy. Most of you guys out there, like as a news, like Mark and I got into it, a little thing on Twitter with a few people that we're even friends with the other day, where the guy was like, no manly man should weigh under 200 pounds. Like, motherfucker, like, as a newsflash, I'm going to be 52 years old. I'm about 185 pounds. I'm a fucking athlete, like still. And Mark weighs like right at 200 pounds when he's on stage. And you're going to tell me he's not a manly man? Like, I mean, shut the fuck up.
Well, the problem, his comment was, if you're under 200 pounds and have abs, that's not impressive. I'm like, you could be 120 pounds with abs, that impressive, because you're in the 0.01% of society if you have abs, and or just not even abs, just you don't have a fat gut. Like, from what's crazy is, even when I see people who are slender, they have the pooch, the visceral adipose tissue pooch, the estrogen pooch, the dad bod pooch, that little belly. So I don't really, if you have a flat stomach, you are elite. I'm not saying if you have a body, I'm not saying if you have big arms, big legs, shredded this. If you have a flat stomach, you are a god.
Yep.
Period.
I mean, especially in comparison to, I talk about it almost daily. Like my dad looked like me at my age, like 70 years ago, like not 70 years ago, Jesus Christ. But like about 30 years ago, when my dad was my age, he looked like me, because worked a physical job, ate beef and vegetables, almost no processed food, slept and drank water for the most part, and beer, a lot of beer. My dad drank a lot of beer, but for the most part, he had he didn't have abs, but he was as big shoulder wise as me, strong as fuck, like he looked like me. Now I'm an anomaly. Like, I mean, for my age bracket, I'm anomalous. People accuse me of steroids every day, when I'm the average 50-year-old dude from 30 years ago.
So what's crazy is, I just did that. I don't know if I made it live yet, but the video on, it's not live yet, being fat makes you stupid. Yeah. And the reason, and also in addition to being stupid from being fat, they did show that people who eat processed food are stupider than people who don't eat processed food. It actually makes you dumber. So how do you get fat? How do people get fat? No one's getting fat on what Alan just described. Beef and potatoes, the old meat and potatoes diet, right? No one's getting fat on that. People are getting fat on what? Processed foods. So I don't know if it's the processed foods causing people to be fat, or if it's the processed foods making people fat, which then cause them to be stupid. Think about it. Like, your brain survives on circulation. And when you're fat, your body doesn't circulate blood enough. So it's going to naturally do that. And the lack of nutrients. Like, you wouldn't believe how many fat people are literally, they're deprived of nutrients. They're literally on the verge of scurvy.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's what one of the markers for craving, because we look out for hunger. That's why we came up with, why we reached out for your no morbidity. But people, a lot of times their cravings are from a micronutrient deficiency. Like it's not even a matter. It's like it's an actual deficiency that they feel, even though they've eaten thousands and thousands and thousands of calories. Then, like, when you drink soda and stuff like that, it actually leaches out a lot of minerals and stuff like that too. When people like, a lot of people get put on certain medications that they then aren't told that they should increase B12, stuff like that.
And everybody's on a ton of medications, man.
Yeah,
Like
everybody.
it's literally, I mean, it's, and that's what they do. Like a friend of mine had his mom go, she had a health issue and they just wanted one pill she had to get this pill. Then she had to get this pill to counter the negatives of this pill. Then another pill to counter the negatives of pill that countering the negatives the first pill did for that pill. I'm sitting there and I'm like, what the fuck?
There's a CMS regulation for healthcare that a person flags when they're on 9 or more medications. 9. So if you're on 8 medications, they don't even worry about it.
That's insane. I just can't believe this is, but it's not new. When I think it was 2004, when I remember I had to get something notarized. Remember we had to get before, like you had the DocuSign. So I had to actually, so I went to this old dude's house who lived like down the street from my house. And I remember walking in and their entire, like they had the counter for their sink and then like a lot of the windowsill, but it was a really big one. And it was all prescription pills. It had to be 70 bottles. I'm not even shitting you. And this is in 2004. This is not new. This is not new at all. But what we're seeing now is that they've expanded their market. They've already got, the boomers are dying off. Yep. So they're just getting, not because of any, but they're and thanks to Big Pharma, they're living way longer than they should live. I mean, we can't discount the fact that Big Pharma has lengthened the life of unhealthy people. But at the end of the day, what are they doing now?
Yeah.
But so their job is to expand profits for their shareholders. So now they're telling you to give children bariatric surgery and weight loss pills. That's just fucking evil.
Yeah, I mean, 13 years old bariatric surgery, 12 years old semaglutide, fucking disgusting.
Unreal. And semaglutide is not a safe drug.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
And whatnot. I cut out the sugar. I seriously, I started taking vitamins and I cut the sugar out. I dropped, no sodas. And it was weird because, I kind of felt like I was doing a good job of not having sugar in my diet. I was like, no, I don't have too much sugar. And I look back now and I'm like, dude, it was a lot of sugar. Seriously. But it wasn't just like I was spooning sugar into my coffee. I do like a little bit of coffee creamers, like French vanilla with some sugar in it. I'd have like maybe a little bit of soda here and there. And then I'd have a bunch of rice and bread and all of those carbs. And I didn't really care. I didn't care. I was around 200 pounds and I was like, I don't care. Like whatever. Like I eat what I feel like eating. But here's the truth. I didn't feel good. And I didn't know I didn't feel good. That's the crazy thing. And that's what people like this need to know, how good it feels to be fit. I cut the sugars out. And then within like a week, I felt like Goku going Super Saiyan, like, I felt like lightning surging through my body. And it was amazing.
That's how Mark feels every day.
People always ask, like, why do I get all this? I'm like, I don't know. I mean, it's just because I live by the sword. It's like I do things. And when I find something that works, I'll try stuff. If it works, I'll keep it in my day. I know that if I sauna X amount of times a day or a week, that I'll feel a certain way. So I try to get 3+ times a week. I know that if I rinse off after sauna in the cold shower, it'll give me an extra 2%. I'll feel a little bit better for 2-3 hours afterwards, and I know that X amount of, I can't train every day. I just train too hard. So I know that X amount of off days a week. So as you get, when you're lean, when you're healthy, you don't understand how that feels until you're there. But then you get super healthy where you can tweak one little variable, like having yogurt with your breakfast. And all of a sudden, it just makes you that much better. But you got to do that. You got to actually get lean first, or else feeling like shit is your normal. That's your average.
Yeah, absolutely.
One day, basically, look, we all got sick. We all got COVID. One day.
Okay, that was too fast. I got to slow him down just a little bit. He does speak faster than the average bear.
I go downstairs, right out in the green room, and I get, we have like salami and cheese, and I start eating it. And I think to myself, I'm like, I didn't have any sugar today, like none, like 0 carbs. Like I'm sure there were some carbs in some of the stuff today, but it was like feta cheese dip with salami. It was like the only thing I ate, and I like bacon and eggs. And I was like, why eat sugar? And I just stopped. Within like a month, 10 pounds gone. Within another month, 10 pounds gone. And then it took a few more months to drop the next 10 pounds. I guess that's how it goes. What's happening now is we're told that this is good and normal. Yo, this is like, I'm sorry, man. I'm not trying to be a dick, but this lady's legs are asymmetrical in terms of the morbid obesity. They are like, there's so much adipose that the legs are completely different shapes. And it looks like they're so fat, the fat goes down to their feet and they jammed their feet into shoes that don't fit them. Why, man? Well, Perhaps I am just guilty of fat phobia. Fat phobia. So I decided, am I a bigot? Or I asked,
Am
it's
I a
such a
bigot?
it's such a ridiculous thing in our society today. You know, like words have no meaning anymore.
No,
Like, if you're
everything's racist. If they disagree, like if I was called racist because I'm like, hey guys, I don't think the lockdowns are good. And people are like, oh, that's because you're racist. I'm like, how do those even correlate?
it's so ridiculous.
to myself, and I needed to look it up to understand, and I did. From the Boston Medical Center.
This is a medical center. This is how fucked up it is. And by the way, people, if you believe that politicians can be in the pockets of lobbyists, imagine scientists and doctors. Politicians have checks in our public figures and everything like that. Scientists and doctors just are in for the money, you know?
Fat phobia. Oh, thank you. Please cure me of my bigotry. Fat phobia. Noun. Also known as anti-fat, is the implicit and explicit bias of overweight individuals that is rooted in a sense of blame and presumed moral failing. Being overweight and or fat is highly stigmatized in Western culture. Anti-fatness is intrinsically linked to anti-blackness, racism, classism, misogyny, and many other systems of oppression. Holy what?
Wow.
This is on a medical thing. It's unreal. First of all, classism, to be able to afford enough food
Oh
to
my
get
God.
fat, fuckers, go visit someplace around the fucking world. Go other places besides America. Besides the Americas. Being fat is fucking privilege. Privilege.
I just find it, someone commented on my post this morning and on my tweet, and he's like, well, with the increase in food costs, they're going to get lean real quick. No, they won't. No, they won't. Even here's another thing. Americans don't understand how good we have it.
Nope.
Have you ever gone grocery shopping in Australia? I have. I was like, I'm paying this much for fucking blueberries? Holy shit. It's expensive. It is expensive to live elsewhere in the world. America, we have so much good shit that right now we're starting to feel how everybody else feels. Like Biden made it where not where America's worse than everybody. He's making us like everybody else, and it sucks. Yeah. America is the only place you could buy a whole fucking loaf of bread for like $1.
Yeah, $1. Other places it's like $10. That's for real.
Yeah, and I went to I mean, I've actually mitigated. So I wrote down earlier, I mitigated a lot of my food costs by shopping at certain places. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm not shopping at Sprouts or Whole Foods or Publix or Kroger. I'm going to Costco. I'm going to Aldi and Trader Joe's and Walmart. I shop at Walmart like a motherfucker.
Yep.
Because that's where the deals are. And so I've actually, I mean, our grocery bill, because we're only shopping there, has actually not gone up. A lot of people just go to the grocery store. They don't have coupons. They're like, let's go. But no, fat people are usually people get addicted to cocaine. They lose a lot of money because they're addicted to it. Fat people will find a way to be fat, whether it means mortgaging their house or going into debt, because for them, it's a drug. It's an addiction. So, that's why taxing things never worked. Taxing cigarettes. Oh, cool. Now we're just making, people who smoke broke, but they're not going to stop because they like it. It's what they do.
Yep. It's crazy.
It is.
Dude, obesity leads to cancer. Your blood pressure, your blood turns to jello. You feel bad. Life is miserable. You get depressed. See, I didn't know it a couple of weeks ago. So I was doing like hard keto for a while, heavy fat, low sugar, all that stuff. And then once I dropped all that weight, I added a little bit more sugar into the diet, just a little bit. So I usually hit around like, I think right now I'm doing like 30 to 40 carbs per day. So it's probably, I don't know, it's keto range or whatever, but I was doing like close to zero. There's something called, I think, what is it called? Gluconeogenesis, where your body turns protein into sugar or something like that. Anyway, I added a little bit more sugar to my diet, and I had a little bit of bread, and I was like, that's no big deal. Like, I cut out all the bad stuff. I have a little bit. And then I didn't realize it. One day I decided I'm going to go a day without eating any bread again. And the next day I felt like $1 million. And I was like, man, you get used to feeling so good that you don't realize you start feeling bad when you add carbs and garbage to your diet. Now, maybe that's just me. Maybe that's just me. I'm not you. I know some people who eat bread and they're just fine. But maybe I'm not somebody who can handle it. I don't know. Some people are gluten intolerant or whatever. Some people can. Beef makes me sick. No joke. I love beef. I love steak. But if I have more than a few ounces, I get really sick. Luke was telling me, Luke Rukowski, Weird Change, that it could be that I don't have enough acid in my stomach. And so I've tried doing some
I'm gonna
tricks
pop
like
over this stuff.
Death Cult, and they want you hurt.
There it
And
is. That's what I wanted.
wings, no problem. But here's what I want to say to this it's a cult, man. It's a death cult, and they want you hurt. And I'm saddened by this. This woman cut the sugars out, man. I was reading this chart.
I've said that multiple times. It is a death cult. Like,
It is.
It's we make, me and you try to keep stuff as lighthearted as possible, and I do my rants and everything like that. But anybody that's going to lie straight to your face and tell you you're okay when you're not, like, that's fucked up. That is a cult of people that are ignoring very serious physical ramifications, and again, I'm very, very happy that people like Tim Pool and other people are starting to point this shit out, because it needs to be like, years ago when I first started talking about this, everybody's like, well, it's just this niche, weird fucking sector of society and nobody's going to pay attention and blah, blah, blah. And it's mainstream. It's mainstream because, pharma wants to give you drugs to lose weight. Like, it's also this weird shit, like, where we don't talk, like, they just talk about the drugs to make you lose weight. Like, one of the things I think that separates you and I from that, even still, because we do have something like No Morbidity works on a very same premise. It helps you minimize your hunger and increase your stress relief, right? But we also talk, without the tumors and the suicidal ideations and shit like that. But we also talk about, like, use that as a tool to build a healthier lifestyle with. It's not just about eating less. It's not just about, not eating as much food. It is about building a healthy lifestyle. You and I talk just as much about, like, making sure you get proper daily activity as we do about what you eat, because that's a healthy lifestyle. And more people need to talk about this. The whole fitness is white supremacist and the exercise is giving athletes heart attacks versus other shit. Come on now. That's ridiculous.
No, at the end of the day, I think those are the experts, but any doctor will tell you to exercise. Yeah. Like, my doctor is not pro-vax, not anti-vax. He's one of these, just a doctor. Like, he's a normal guy. He just wants to serve out his time and retire. That's what he wants to do. Like, he's doing his thing. So, he's one of those, he's like, well, I'm not going to tell you to exercise, but that's what you should be doing. I'm like, okay. Yeah. It's one of those things where, to say that exercise is bad for you and causing heart attacks, no, that's literally how you prevent heart attacks. But if you have something in your system that, or a comorbidity or a genetic defect or whatever, then yeah, exercise can trigger it. But by and large, for 99.9% of folks, exercising in multiple ranges from strength training to zone 2 to zone 4 cardio. Mm-hmm. Zone 2 would be a brisk walking on an incline, something like that. Whereas zone 4 would be high intensity training. Zone 5 is like Tabata. That's like the hardest shit. Like, that's how you can't stay in that for more than 20 seconds. But, you got to have that mix for your heart. So for anybody to say that exercise is not healthy, and good old Daddy Trump said that he didn't exercise because it takes away your energy to work, which is that exact opposite of what it does. And also, I would like to say Trump is kind of idiotic for saying that. Dude golfs all the time. Yeah. Golfing is hard. It's a lot of movement, a lot of walking, a lot of exercise. So people say Trump doesn't exercise. He doesn't lift, but lifting's not the only exercise you can do. Trump's a very active guy.
Yeah. So I thought we would just get to, I encourage people to go watch the rest of that Tim Pool video, but I thought we would get to, since we're getting close to an hour and I know you got shit to do and I got shit to do, I thought we'd get to some Q&A from people in the comment section. So if you have questions for Mark or myself, please do put them in the comment section below. And we'll try to answer a few in the last 10 minutes.
Here's a paid one.
Outstanding.
Let's go to that first.
Yeah.
From Dolphine Evanhus. Evanhui.
Yeah.
My recovery sucks right now. Haven't changed anything other than eating a bit less for a mini cut. Anything I could do apart from train less? Do you want to take a stab at it first, amigo, or vice versa?
Well, I would first of all say what's your sleep like and what's your hydration like before anything.
Yep.
Because
so if you haven't, go ahead. If you haven't changed anything, we don't know where you started, right? Because, for example, today I feel like shit because I did legs and then I boxed. And then today I did chest because I thought I was leaving town. I take tomorrow off and I'm not feeling my best. But yeah, my recovery sucks today. So if you did cut out calories. A lot of people, it depends how lean you are. If you're as lean as I am, most people will feel like shit. For me, it's just how I've been for so long. My body just stays here. No matter what I eat, my body stays lean. But for most people, if you started a mini cut, I'm guessing that you're over 12 to 15% body fat. It's not the diet that's causing it. It's something other than that. Whether it's your life stress, your personal life, whatever, whether it's hydration, whether it's sleep, there's so many variables that affect recovery. So I wouldn't put someone who's like a CEO, very high stress, I wouldn't have them do as much volume as somebody who takes naps during the day.
Right.
Because your body only has a certain level of stress and recovery. Also, it's a long time, right? Like, how long have you been training? You adapt. For example, when I start a new routine, like let's say when I threw boxing in, the first 2 weeks I was out. Like I felt like shit. But after 2 weeks, my body adapted. So number one is you might need to adapt further. You might need more time to just adapt, or the other variables that Alan pointed out, as well as, but I don't think it's the mini cut. I don't think it's the food. I think you need to look at all those other factors around it. Make sure you need adequate sleep, adequate hydration. The calories you do get, make sure they're from as micronutrient dense sources as possible. Fruits, veggies, high quality meat, things like that.
Absolutely. Here's one for you, Mark. They asked this on the other thing too. Whoop. When will Immortal be back in stock?
Next week. With the New Year's sale, we blew through 3 months of inventory in a week. So, it's one of those problems you have, and I can't like poof. I can't just go to the store and buy it because I make it. Right. Yeah. So the supply chain's fine. People are like, is there a supply chain issue? I'm like, no, the supply chain is we forecasted wrong. So it'll be back next week, and hopefully we never have that issue again. But as we saw with No Morbidity, nobody expected No Morbidity. At least I didn't. Alan might have. But it's one of those things where we don't want to run out of this ever. And so we're scaling and scaling and scaling. But then like Vitamin Shop picked it up. Dude, that's thousands of units. Like that could be 90% of our production run because there's 1,000 Vitamin Shops. They order 3 deep. That's 3,000 units.
Right.
So that's a lot. And then you go to cost. Like if you go to the cost, let's say the cost is, this isn't the cost by any means. Say it's $10 cost. And just look at that, 3,000 units, $10 cost. So they're ordering a lot of product. Yeah. Right. So, so you got to just, I just want a simple math, but yeah, it's one of those things where we have to control inventory, and sometimes you can't go above forecast or else you risk a lot of things, outdated product, and also cash flow. So those are things that contribute. We will never be 100%, but we aim to be as close as possible.
Yeah. I've heard 6 feet male should be 180, but that sounds low. I mean,
it's about right.
It's about right, to be honest. And it depends on your musculature. I mean, even if you don't have a lot of muscle to you, that's actually a little high still, probably.
Yeah.
I mean, the average male should probably weigh about 150 to 160 pounds. I mean,
not wrong.
We're fat. Like it's like literally like it's been so normalized that we view a fat dude as normal now. Like if you look at pictures of people from, 40 years ago, everybody had abs, just about. Like everybody, Yeah,
it's absolutely insane how we've normalized. And if you see somebody fit, like I notice fit people, I usually give them a little nod. I'm like, what's up?
Yeah. It's like we just so you guys know, if you're fat, you don't know it yet, but there's a secret handshake we all have. Tiger Fitness should still have it. I think they're talking about Immortal, but Immortal's not.
No MTS or Outright is in the Vitamin Shop, just Ambrosia.
And Tiger Fitness, last I checked, Ember was out too.
Correct.
You can get Ember right here though. I think you can. Can you get it at the?
I think actually I think we ran out of that this week. I'm not sure. That meeting is tomorrow.
Okay. Cool. We're so used to seeing fat people that it seems normal. That's the truth. It's very much the truth.
And it shouldn't be normal. I mean, when I was a kid and I was overweight, I stood out, and I wasn't fat by any means compared to kids these days. I was just fluffy. I was just a big kid, a husky kid. That's called husky. But everybody else was so lean. And
Yeah.
now they're all fat. Like I'll see people from like when I went to high school. I'm like, Jesus Christ, man, what'd you do? They're like, oh my God, what'd you do? I'm like, what did you do? A lot of nothing.
Here's this. Hot and dude don't belong in a sentence if you're hetero. I've never seen a hot dude. Yeah, you have, man. You just don't want to admit it.
Dude,
like, what the fuck? So you don't look at other dudes and know if they're attractive or not. Shut bro, just come out of the fucking closet, dude. Like, I mean,
as certain dudes are just you can, like, women know like their competition, right? Like they know if a chick is hot. Like a dude, we know if there's a good looking dude, they got that jawline, they might have cool facial hair. Like you could tell, like that guy got, you ever see a dude and go, that guy must get all the girls. Yeah. Like you don't look at Bill, like, if you could tell an ugly dude, none of us here is going to say that Bill Gates is hot.
No.
If you can state that Bill Gates is ugly, you can state that another dude is hot. That doesn't make you gay. Like I said, I don't even think my junk would work in a gay situation, but I can tell you if a dude's hot, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. I mean, dude, like that, I'm sorry, bro. I mean, and I wasn't trying to blast out the commenter, but that sounded kind of fucking sad, bro. Like, I mean, like, and all this shit we got to worry about. You're worried about if some dude, like somebody is gay or not, whether they think another guy's attractive. I'm sorry, but like if because here's the thing, this is the same dude. You probably have a picture of some bodybuilder on your fucking wall that you want to look like, and you want to look like him. Why? Like don't lie. But hey guys, I need to run. I got a client in like 2 minutes, man. So Mark, we're in stock for No Morbidity at Ambrosia and at Vitamin Shop. It's coming to Tiger Fitness here in a couple of days. And you said next week Immortal will be back. Everybody,
next week it'll be back.
I thank everybody for joining us for this. Tim Poole, if you're watching, I'd love to come on your show and discuss more about fat acceptance. I have all the data and stuff like that. It's a societal burden we need to help each other recover from. Mark, man, what's been going on with you? You're traveling all over the place this week, aren't you?
I'm going to Iron Wars this weekend. I was supposed to be at Mark Bell's podcast tomorrow, but all the flights were canceled due to the non-cyber attack. They made sure to tell us, we don't know what it was, but it's definitely not that. I mean, dude, if there's one thing we pissed off Russia. I point to Russia for this one.
Yeah.
That has Russia written all over it. I'm going to Russiagate this bitch. And then next, I don't know what's going on, but I know, I had some at the end of the month. I forgot. Oh yeah. And then, before the Arnold, March 2nd, we're doing a meet and greet at the Tiger Fitness Gym. The Thursday before the Arnold starts at 12. We're going to have a bunch of fat stuff, pizza, donuts, and lifting, because it's a powerlifting gym.
Yeah, it's a powerlifting gym. All right, guys, thank you very much. And I hope to talk. I'll be back live here in about an hour again. I got one more live today. I'm all over the place. And then Crystal and I, my wife and I, are going to go live. We're discussing tomorrow at 1 p.m. Fat, the documentary by Vinny Tortorci. And then I just found out, I got an email while we were talking, that I'm going to be on Vinny Tortorci's podcast, and then he's going to be live on my channel probably tomorrow too. So I hope everybody tunes in for that. Tune in to Tiger Fitness. Shop for all your supplement needs at tigerfitness.com, MTS Nutrition, and AmbrosiaCollective.com.
Yes.
Goddamn.
All right. Peace out.